Hi there, this is Kevin Lou with CreativeOrange.com, and I'm here to talk to you about an article I read in one of the trade magazines where they're kind of telling photographers to use this certain ad campaign. It's called See the Difference, and I think that's actually a really good idea to have some sort of ad campaign like that. But I'm going to give an opposing view here. I know some people might not like this, but whatever. I just kind of think you need to have opposing views to everything. The whole See the Difference campaign I think is a great idea. Like I said, I love the tagline See the Difference, but the way it's kind of being implemented is just seems like a little off to me. First off, you're going to be using a negative ad campaign to kind of attack the Uncle Bob's. Well, you know what? We all kind of started as Uncle Bob's, I guess, at some point. So I'm not sure that's the right tactic. And then you're going to be showing like, okay, here's a before of how they would shoot it, and here's how I shoot it. Well, personally, I feel like if the client can't tell the difference between you and them to start with, then you probably have a bigger problem on your hand and need to go back and practice a little more. I've never been compared to an Uncle Bob in my whole career. I don't know how that can even happen. And the reality is, those clients are not your clients. If they're willing to go to someone like that for their photography, there's no amount of type or talking to them that's going to change their mind. I mean, they don't value photography, so I don't even know why you're worrying about these people. The reality is, worry about your client base. Don't worry about the ones that are shooting for, a shoot and burn sort of thing. That just makes no sense whatsoever to me to actually go after that. And the reality is, negative campaigning, yeah, I guess in politics it works. But like right now, there's an ad campaign going on, and I don't really care Apple or Samsung, it doesn't matter to me, but I look at Apple's ads and I'm like, okay, they're just talking about their stuff, how great their stuff is, and then you go to the Samsung ad and they're literally just, all they're doing is attacking Apple, so I'm like going, well, I really don't want one of those now because they aren't telling me what their stuff does. So I think by pointing out your quality and your beautiful photographs, I think that's enough. I don't think you need to go into attacking other photographers to further yourself. It just doesn't seem to make sense to me. And if you think about it, like Mercedes, would they put a Kia in their ad with them or something like that, or a lower end model, and go, well, this is what they do, this is how we are? That just makes no sense to me whatsoever. It's bringing the whole industry down, and I'm sure it's well intentioned with what they're doing because they're trying to grow the market. They're trying to grow the market for professional photographers. But the reality is, I think by doing this, you're going to be kind of tearing the market down a little bit, because those people eventually are either going to phase out or they're going to become professional photographers. So like I said, I don't think there's any amount of explaining that you can do to a person to get them to come into your studio if that's the person they're going with. And then there's another thing in there that said that I kind of had a problem with was when someone calls for pricing or emails about pricing, to not send them your pricing, to send this other thing explaining why you're a professional photographer and why this and that. That just makes no sense to me whatsoever. That's like, me calling a store and saying, hey, how much is this pair of jeans? And they go, well, we'll send you something. And then they send me a thing about how their jeans are made. It makes no sense. If somebody calls up for a price, we always just give them a range. We say from X amount to X amount, and most people spend this much. And then we send them a price sheet and we explain to them, now, some of the stuff's not going to make sense, so if you want to come in and have a meeting with us, that's great. We'll show you all our products, what we do. And I think that's probably a better way to go than just not sending them a price at all. That as a customer, I would be kind of upset with that. So that was another piece of advice I didn't agree with. But once again, these are all my personal opinions. Now, you can do whatever you want. But I just think there's a better way to do this than negative campaigning. And I think it's just seeing the difference is great, but to see the difference and just put your own images in there. You don't need anything to compare to. Just forget about those Uncle Bobs. Start marketing to your client. Your client is the one that thinks photography is important and want a professional photographer to do that. They aren't going to go to Joe Blow down the street and pay them $50. Your client base that you should be marketing to are people that think photography is important. And I think if you go about that way, and even use the tagline, see the difference, but just leave all that other stuff out and just show just how good your work is. And I think that will be a really, really good way to go about this. So once again, if I upset anybody, I don't mean to. I'm not attacking anybody because I think these organizations are great and they really help photographers out. But I just wanted to give an opposing view to maybe kind of make people think a little bit before they go delving full blown into this. So okay, take care. KevinCreativeOrange.com. Bye bye.